Listen and practice. Listen and practice.
Once upon a time, there was a curious little squirrel named Nutty. Nutty loved to explore and discover new things. One day, as he was hopping around in the forest, he stumbled upon a group of ants working together to build a towering ant hill. Fascinated by their teamwork, Nutty decided to observe the ants more closely. He watched as each ant carried tiny bits of dirt and leaves to the construction site. Nutty was amazed at how organized they were and how everyone had a specific job to do. As he continued to watch, Nutty noticed that one ant in particular was carrying an enormous leaf all by itself. The leaf was so big that it looked like it could crush the little ant. But despite the weight, the ant kept going. Nutty couldn't resist asking the ant, "Hey there, that leaf looks so heavy. How are you able to carry it all by yourself?" The ant looked up and replied, "Well, I might be small, but I am mighty. Plus, I have lots of friends who will help me when I need it." Nutty was amazed. He realized that just like the ants, he too had friends and could accomplish great things by working together. Feeling inspired, Nutty ran back to his squirrel friends and told them all about the amazing ants he had seen. He explained that if they worked together, they could achieve anything they set their minds to. And so Nutty and his friends began to work together to build a treehouse. They used their different skills to create something amazing. It wasn't always easy, but with teamwork, they were able to finish the project and create a cozy home for all the squirrels in the forest. From that day on, Nutty and his friends worked together to solve problems and build amazing things. They learned that when they work together, anything is possible.
Listen and practice. Listen and practice.
Once upon a time, in a small town in the heart of England, there was a young girl named Lily. Lily had always been fascinated by the English language, but she struggled to learn it in school. She found the grammar and vocabulary to be confusing and overwhelming, and she often felt discouraged. One day, while browsing in the local library, Lily stumbled upon a book titled "Learn English Through Story." She was immediately intrigued, and she decided to check it out. As she started reading the stories, she realized that they were not only entertaining but also educational. The stories were written in simple English, and each one included new vocabulary and grammar concepts. Lily found that she was able to understand the stories much more easily than she had understood her textbooks. Over the next few weeks, Lily spent all her free time reading the book and practicing her English. She would read a story and then quiz herself on the new vocabulary and grammar. She also started watching English movies and listening to English music, which helped her to become more comfortable with the language. With time, Lily's English skills improved dramatically. She was able to speak and write with much more confidence, and she even began to enjoy learning English. She felt grateful to have found the Learn English Through Story book, which had made the process so much more fun and engaging. In the end, Lily realized that learning a new language doesn't have to be dull and difficult. By using fun and entertaining methods, like reading stories, anyone can learn a new language with ease.
Listen and practice. Listen and practice.
Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Tim who loved to read books. He would spend hours each day reading stories about knights, dragons, and far-off lands. However, Tim struggled with his English and often had trouble understanding some of the words and phrases he came across in his books. One day, Tim came across a book that was written in very simple English. The story was about a cat named Fluffy who went on a big adventure. Tim was able to understand every word in the book, and he was so excited that he read the entire thing in one sitting. Feeling proud of himself, Tim decided that he wanted to write his own story in simple English. He took out a piece of paper and began to write about a dog named Buddy who wanted to learn how to surf. He carefully chose his words, making sure to keep them simple and easy to understand. As Tim continued to write, he realized that he was not only improving his writing skills, but his English was getting better too. He started to read more books in simple English, and soon he was able to understand more and more words. One day, Tim's teacher noticed how much his English had improved, and she asked him how he did it. Tim told her about the simple English books he had been reading, and his teacher was so impressed that she decided to share the idea with the whole class. From that day on, Tim and his classmates started reading more books in simple English. They were able to understand the stories better, and their English skills continued to improve. Tim was thrilled to have helped his classmates, and he felt proud of how much he had learned. He knew that with practice and determination, he could become even better at English. And so Tim continued to read and write in simple English, knowing that with each new word he learned, he was one step closer to achieving his dream of becoming a great writer.